This is the second fly in our series. It relies on the fact that you can dub and proportion. And that's what we were learning on the first fly. This fly, we're going to add a rib and a tail. And tying the tail on, you're going to learn a new technique called the pinch technique. So, and that you're going to use a lot for other flies going forward. And ribbing, you're going to do a lot of that too. So, get started. I already put a hook in the vise. It's a straight shank hook. And I started my thread. It's important that you get a nice thread base, because if we don't, things are going to slip on us. So you go right back to the bend of the hook. And you're going to cut your thread, little like that. And then in this kit, you're going to get squirrel belly and squirrel, some hooks, and some wire. So we're going to start out with a piece of squirrel hide. And that's our tail. And so you're going to take a little bit. It doesn't have to be real full, but just a little bit. You're going to cut it right next to the hide. And then you're going to take it, and you don't want too much sticking out, just a little bit. And now we're going to do what's called a pinch, where we're going to hold it between our fingers, bring the thread up by the fingers, and just get it in there. You see? Now, I do that again. And now, a few wraps down there. Yeah, a little terrible looking at the end, but I'll show you how to fix that. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this down. And I go right back to my tie-in point. And I have some of the stuff that's kind of pulled down along the hook and stuff. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a thread wrap under it. It looks like I caught my thread on the hook. So there we go. So now I got a tail, some sort of tail. And I'm going to go back most of the way, and I'm going to take a little piece of wire. And what I want to do is I'm going to put the wire kind of across the hook, and that holds it really good when I tie it in. Now I can pull the wire so I don't have much of it sticking out on the end. Okay, and I'm going to wire, just keep my thread coming. Like that, and then I'm going to put the wire just out of the way for a while. Okay, and what I do a lot of times is this end of the wire, and it's not necessary, but sometimes I just kind of bend that over. Okay, and once it's bent over, it's not going to ever come loose, you know? It's in there forever. Got a hook on it. It should be pretty solid right there. Wants to escape my pliers. There it is. Okay, then you're going to start with a little bit of squirrel belly. Now, you can buy a squirrel skin and make this whole fly. Shave off the belly, but you're not going to get, the squirrel belly is really small, so you don't get much belly on it. And that's a red fox squirrel that you want to get. But you can find them in hunter things and stuff like that. Unfortunately, you can't get them like you used to out of the fly tying stores. So I'm going to start dubbing, okay, just as we did on the last one, you know, nice thin noodle. Push that up. And once again, the secret to dubbing, just put a little bit on your thread, not too much. You get a whole lot on there, and it won't work too good. So I want to take right before the tail, and I'm going to wrap on up, 2/3 point, wrap back down. I can use a little more dubbing. You don't have to make this fly real big, but I don't know if you remember when we were fishing on Big Rock Creek, a stone was turned over and there was a bug attached to it, a stone fly. And that's what this imitates, is a stone fly. And stone flies are fun to fish with. And when the fish hit them, they hit them hard. And so it's, I enjoy fishing stonefly water. And there's a lot of it up in the Sierras. Middle Fork of the San Joaquin, most stoneflies hatch pretty early. But one place that's really good, and mind you, the stoneflies are in there for 2 years, so the nymphs are there all the time. East Walker River is a very good one. Okay, so now I got that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to wrap the rib. But don't wrap the rib in the same direction. Ribs, almost all the time, get reverse wrapped, okay, so they don't fall down in the cracks or anything. And you want to get 3 to 5 wraps on there. Okay, and this one, I took 2 wraps, wrap under it, and then a couple more. And then the way to cut your rib, if you have something like this that has a big blade on it, by all means, go ahead and cut it. But if you have something like this, regular scissors you're using for other things, don't cut the rib wire with it, or else these will be no good. Okay? So the other thing is, and the best way I think, is what they call a helicopter method, where you just twist it around like that, and eventually it just breaks off, leaves a little end on it so it doesn't slip out easy or anything like that. And then to finish this, we use some Red Fox Squirrel back, you know, and it's just a little bit of it, and it spreads out real nice. And it usually has some guard hairs that are going to stick out, which will probably help you a little bit. Okay, that might be enough. Let's see. Yeah, just a little more. I don't know, you guys been practicing your whip finisher, I hope? Because that's how we're going to finish this fly. It's with the whip finisher.
Sure, whatever you say.
Now this looks kind of buggy with a lot of hair sticking out and stuff. That's very good for fishing. There we have that part of it. So, red fox squirrel. This is only the first part of this fly.
Oh, really?
The second part is, and it's almost the same fly, except we're going to add one more thing to it. That's called a wing case. Yeah, but everything else is going to be tied the same. But we're going to use nothing but a squirrel's mask for your dubbing. Okay? And that's the next fly. So let's get this one done, move on to the next fly.